Hi everyone. I know at this point you're probably getting tired of listening to me and seeing my face. So at this point I decided I was just going to do a screen capture and just audio record my voice along with this. Last time I said I wanted to take the CDF and actually sketch it. Okay, the CDF that we came up with last time, and I'll remind you of what that CDF was. You might have written it down. I have it written down here, but we'll sketch it. But I also wanted to sketch this density right here. This density, the probability distribution function or the density. I want to sketch both of them. We're going to do that in Desmos actually. Because you can do piecewise defined functions in Desmos. And here's how you do it. F of x equals, okay, you put some braces like this, kind of like you would for a piecewise defined function. And it's a little bit strange, but what you do is you first put where x is. So if x is less than 0, okay, what do we want? You put a semicolon. Yeah. Well, that's actually a colon. Okay, x less than 0, colon. It was equal to 0 there. Okay, so do you see how that you get that red looking graph? So it understands, oh, if x is less than 0, you just want to be 0, okay? And then what? Well, comma, okay, if 0 is less than or equal to x is less than 5, colon, what is the deal? So by the way, you can put spaces in here even, and that doesn't really make a difference. Okay, what if x is between 0 and 5? Well, remember it was like x over 25, yes? Or 1/25 x, okay? Then what? If 5 was less than or equal to x, is less than 10, what were we equal to? Well, it was like 2/5 minus, you see, you can kind of watch the graph evolving over there as I'm typing things in, minus x over 25, okay? And then finally, if x is bigger than or equal to 10, oh, by the way, I think maybe I did, instead of less than 10, I did maybe less than or equal to. It doesn't really matter, but, you know, I'll put it in there just to be complete. If x is greater than 10, what were we? Okay, so colon, it's 0. And look, I don't really like the way this thing is looking. I mean, you can barely see what's happening here. So what we can do is you can go in here into this little wrench thing. If you hover over it, it says graph settings, and we can tell it, you know, what range to put in. So maybe we want to go from like negative 1 or something on the x-axis to I don't know, let's go to like 11 maybe. And then on the y-axis, what do we want to do? Let's go from like maybe -1 to 2 or something. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's do 1.5, okay? Yeah, 1.5. And maybe we'll go like -0.5. I'm getting obsessed here, but -0.5. There it is. Hey, that looks a lot like what we were graphing on the board earlier, okay? And I want to leave room for that 1 up at the top, just because we're going to do the cumulative distribution function. Now for the cumulative distribution function, what we got, and that was our capital F of x was equal to what? Well, it was it was if x is less than 0, it was 0. And if 0 was less than or equal to x was less than 5, what did we get? It was x squared over 50, all right? It was x squared over 50. So x caret, shift caret squared, okay, get out of the power over 50, okay? All right, so there we are so far, okay? And then if x was between 5, so 5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 10, what were we? Well, it was like -1 plus 2/5 x minus x squared over 50. Like that. Okay? And then what was going on after that? Well, if x is bigger, let me just go, x is bigger than 10, what was going on? It was 1. Like that. Okay? And that makes sense because remember, the blue curve is our cumulative distribution function. Let me hit enter here just to kind of get down. The blue curve is our cumulative distribution function. And as we accumulate area under the red curve, moving left to right, the blue curve is going to go up. And it starts at 0, starts to grow, grow, grow. It kind of, at the middle point right here at 5, it stops increasing as fast and starts increasing a little bit more slowly. That's because the red line is going down now. And then that thing continues to accumulate all the way up to 1. So there's our CDF. And I think that's pretty neat. That's all for now.